Undocumented families are on edge in the D.C. area as immigration raids continue. What areas are ICE targeting? What does this mean for undocumented communities in Northern Virginia?
And the district becomes the 7th jurisdiction to allow physician-assisted suicide for the terminally ill. The new law goes into effect as congressional Republicans are unable to block the legislation. But how will the law be implemented? District Wire News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Catherine Warren.
And I'm Craig Cannon. Immigrant communities around Northern Virginia are living in fear after a series of raids have taken place. President Trump is taking credit for deportation sweeps across the country. Jordan Houston tells us more.
For days now, immigrant families living in Northern Virginia have been preparing for the worst: deportation. Their fears stem from what appears to be the first wave of immigration detentions since President Donald Trump took office in January.
As a person that has immigrant family, I think that this is a country for all kinds of people and we need to step up and do a change.
The president is known for his strict stance on immigration policy and supports building a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. The federal government says that last week alone, the raids targeted almost 700 undocumented immigrants, who they're labeling as criminal aliens. While the government says they're looking to arrest undocumented workers who are facing criminal charges, many immigrants and their lawyers are saying that a majority of the people taken didn't have a criminal record, but were taken anyways. The raids have left many neighborhoods feeling confused and afraid.
They're scared too. One day, the parents could get stopped, and they could ask them, let me see your green card or residence or anything, and they're gonna say no, and then they could get sent back, and then they could destroy their family.
The federal agency responsible for immigration is denying the sweeps and says it's continuing to target only dangerous criminals living in the U.S. illegally. Jordan Houston, Washington.
Over 100 workers lose their jobs after participating in the Day Without Immigrants protest last Thursday. Restaurants, construction companies, and even students protested President Trump's controversial immigration policies. Social media users are now calling on others to boycott those businesses that fired immigrant workers.
On President's Day, demonstrators gathered in Lafayette Park calling to dump Trump. This happened after numerous policy changes have happened in the White House. Afra Abdullah reports.
A small group of protesters are pushing back in Lafayette Square Park today against President Trump in another Dump Trump rally. Grass organizer Pete Perry says Trump has set back the American people.
This is just a grassroots effort of me and a couple local DC activists saying that we need to keep the momentum up. The momentum being the groups of people that have come together, often spontaneously, against opposing the Trump agenda and an administration that clearly is not capable of governing our nation.
Other participants of the Dump Trump rally included Pastor Karen Brown of Luther Memorial Church.
For the native and for the alien who resides among you. There's a measure of equality in people who are residents.
Protester Melanie Stegman says people just need to wake up.
I think regular people need to see that regular people don't like Trump.
Not hate. That's what makes America great. Love, not hate. What do we want? What do we want?
The Dump Trump rally is not the only rally happening on President's Day, as protests will continue throughout the Washington, D.C. area. From Washington, I'm Afra Abdullah.
President Trump is backtracking his comments about a terror attack in Sweden over the weekend. The president took to Twitter saying that his statement was in reference to a story that was broadcast on Fox News. Within hours, Sweden's embassy in the U.S. tweeted that they are looking forward to informing the administration about Swedish immigration and integration policies.
Vice President Mike Pence is in Brussels, reassuring the European Union on the direction of U.S. foreign policy under the new administration. President Trump's negative comments about NATO sparked anxiety throughout Europe. Although he didn't give detailed policy proposals, president said that Trump would maintain the deep historical ties between the U.S. and Europe.
President Trump is still scrambling to find a candidate to fill the National Security Advisor position for his cabinet. Trump interviewed 4 finalists to replace former advisor Michael Flynn this past Sunday. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders tells reporters Trump may meet with some of the candidates again today.
Health experts are debating President Trump's mental state. Some psychologists say being a narcissist does not make him mentally ill, while others say his rhetoric is so dangerous they need to speak out. All this comes on the heels of Russia announcing that they are compiling a dossier profiling the mind of the president. The dossier is said to be a part of preparation for their first meeting, for which the date has yet to be set.
In light of the immigration ban, many universities around D.C. are advising their students on how to deal with the implications of the ban. Zain Al-Mahawais reports.
Around DC strive on having a wide community of students from around the world.
I think the university is doing all it can to protect members of our community that might be at risk.
Many students are on edge due to the executive ban that was signed in January by President Trump, halting people from entering the U.S. from 7 majority Muslim countries. Students around DC have come together to protest against this, showing inflicting banners and chanting chants. Many universities around DC, like American University, are helping and teaching their students on what to do when it comes to the travel ban. It is still uncertain what is to come after the recent implications of the immigration ban, but universities in DC are making sure their students are kept updated.
That we see, the school exercising its muscles, providing a resource to our students, definitely to help them for anyone who has been affected by this.
From District Wire News, I am Zain Al-Mahawais.
President Donald Trump is working on a new executive order, one regarding historically black colleges and universities. The Trump administration will host a meeting with leaders from HBCUs later this month to discuss ways to advance historically black colleges and universities. While this could mean more federal funding, not all HBCU students are interested in a relationship with the White House. Some Howard University students say their university cannot abandon its values in exchange for financial security.
We got to get $220 million from them a year. That's all we need here. We don't need anything else that's going to hinder or allow them to have more say-so on what goes on here at Howard. We don't want to endorse Trump's fascist campaign, his fascist administration, or anything like that.
HU Resist is an activist group at Howard University. They are demanding that Howard declares itself a sanctuary campus and bans President Trump from all university-affiliated buildings entirely.
Temperatures are rising this week in the district after a warm February weekend. Temperatures are expected to jump back up Wednesday through Friday, beating previous February heat records. A high of 75 degrees is expected for Friday.
While DC public schools are dealing with bed bugs, American University is having a pest outbreak of their own. Amaya Turner reports as the school is seeing a presence of mice inside of the dorm rooms.
Students at American University are saying they are seeing an increase in mice in the dorm rooms. The school has not released any notices to students and families about the mice outbreak. Students say they are taking matters into their own hands.
It ran into the trash can and then I just threw it out.
Students say they are not afraid of the mice and have been able to manage getting rid of them so far. The presence of mice is seen mostly during the holidays when students leave food and trash during the break.
More near the holidays when there was a lot of food in the dorms and everything.
Students should contact the Residents Housing Association if they notice mice in the dorm rooms. I reached out to the Housing and Dining Program at American University and did not receive any comments. Amaya Turner, Washington.
DC is now the 7th district to legalize physician-assisted suicide. The law allowing terminally ill patients to receive life-ending medication went into effect Saturday. But how will the district implement it?
Uber is investigating sexual harassment claims made by a former employee. Chief executive of Uber says the company is taking immediate action.